join the freaking call on my computer. That's just the way it is.
Okay. All right. So we're live. All right. Thanks, James, for joining in. Basically, what's happened is over the tri-state, they have spotted something large, and I mean large, over the Doppler radar, and it looked to be somewhat of like a huge storm. That's the only thing that I can say that it looked like. Let me get this up on my screen, and then I will.
Show that GIF because it's very revealing. Because it's masquerading as a storm.
Exactly. And this actually popped up on the local news, which I know everybody's like not for mainstream media, but sometimes we need to look at this as, it could be something to look at. I mean, we never know.
Also, it seems like there is increased activity, military activity, things in the sky activity. And what this seems like is they know that people are going to see stuff.
Okay, this is like right over top of my head. This was actually updated 10:01 p.m. Central Time in Evansville, Indiana. And it says, what probably should have been an uneventful night at the National Weather Service office in Paducah, Kentucky, has instead turned into a night spent observing a mystery unfold. And let me get up this little image here. Pull this up. Check this out, guys. It showed up. Yeah, I'm sharing screen. It showed up, and then it really, really fast. Yet there was no storms or nothing in the area. And they're basically calling this a military shaft, is what they're thinking. Interesting radar return over Wabash County, Illinois, moving south off KPAH radar. It said it's a clear night with very little wind and temperatures in the 20s in the tri-state. So that rules out a shower or thunderstorm. Here's the thing. The radar return was of the strength of what you'd see in a very strong storm. As of 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the radar return had drifted well into the western Kentucky and elongated. The National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky issued another message on Twitter seeking reports from people in Madisonville and Owensboro. Look at that. That's huge. That is freaking huge, and it's moving fast, like a very strong, fast storm. Actually, that's moving faster than a storm. If you all are used to looking at radars and observing them and looking at storms, you will see that that is very, very fast.
I'm seeing on the, okay, there it is, yeah. Is that the same one?
Yeah, it's the same one. It just looked a little bit different on that other one I showed. It was small.
No, there's two. There in the article, there's two.
Yeah,
so make sure you go to both because that one looks different.
Yeah, I played it already. It's the smaller one. See? This one, it looks smaller, but it's the same exact one. It just, I guess, a different radar.
Yeah, go to the other one where there's Kecksburg, or not Kecksburg, Keensburg.
Yeah.
Go to the other one. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. See how the storm doesn't look natural at all? It looks like a bunch of
pixels.
Weird stuff. What I'm thinking is they definitely did something where they have something maybe on top to try to make it look, so maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I mean, first of all, the way that it looks, it doesn't look like a storm, but it looks like it's trying to mimic a storm. See how it's a bunch of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a bunch of like little things like put together, and then see how it looks. Wait, keep that up, keep it up, okay?
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
It looks like it's like sketchy, like literally sketchy. Like you know, when you look at a radar return, this looks like literally like a pencil sketch. Like they're, you know, like sketchy. And then you have the different rings to make it look like, and that's something that they have, you know, that's something that they're very entwined with. as far as radar and doing all that stuff. But also I'm taking this on a level of like what else is going on and the stories that I've been hearing otherwise. Heightened military alert, weird objects in the sky, a lot of weird stuff in the sky right now, a lot of weird stuff. So keep going.
There's also been rumors of a lot of retired military also being called out. Just wanted to put that out there. This is the actual same. It's just a different radar. It's the same exact thing, just a different radar. If you all haven't seen this already, and this is huge. This like heightens it. It extends it out, and this is over Indiana right here. Greenville, Dawson Springs, Earlington, Madisonville. And like I said, this was actually seen over the tri-state. Wait a minute, this is Kentucky because there's Owensboro. Radar Scope Pro. It says Super Res Reflectivity Tilt 1. And so above the radar that I shown was like 4 p.m. Central Time. So that was Indiana. And then it came down to Kentucky and it hit Kentucky around 8:30. So about 4 hours later, it looks to be hitting Kentucky. So it went over a different, the tri-state, basically Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee. And this article says the best guess the folks at the Weather Service have is its military shaft that originated in Richland County, Illinois around 2:45 p.m. Monday. For more than 6 hours, it has floated to the south and east. Shaft was developed during World War II, and the British and Germans used it to create false returns on radar. The website globalsecurity.org describes it this way. Shaft consists of small fibers that reflect radar signals and, when dispensed in large quantities from the aircraft, form a cloud that temporarily hides the aircraft from radar detection. So
chemtrails are basically shaft.
Exactly, basically. The two major types of military shaft in use are aluminum foil and aluminum coated glass fibers. The aluminum foil type is no longer manufactured, although it may still be in use. Then it goes on to say, there are 2 military installations within a quick flight of the area where the shaft originated. Scott Air Force Base in Shiloh, Illinois, and that's just east of St. Louis, and the Naval Surface Warfare Center, Crane Division in southern Indiana, and that's about 75 miles away. It said a third military base in the region is Fort Campbell on the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. So here's another radar playing it. And look at that. Look at all of those right there. And then look at this. There it is right there. That's crazy looking.
Hold on. I'm a little bit behind. I have to, because see, I just can't do it. I mean, Kay knows this. I can go on my phone, but when I try to enter the Hangout, it won't let me on my computer. That's pretty much, people ask me, why do you do videos on your phone? That's pretty much the reason. And Kay was there for the whole thing. But look at that thing. Mm-hmm. It starts to grow too.
Mm-hmm. It's getting larger and larger. That's crazy too, because you would think it would stay the same size. And it almost looks like it's getting smaller too. It like grows large, kind of goes smaller, and then gets bigger. Watch, small, kind of grows, kind of gets smaller, and then boom, it's like goes into one large thing. And what is all of this over to the left? What is that?
Are they picking up that looks like some sort of frequency modulation, something or other.
That line that went straight across. Watch when it replays. It's hard for me to get the seconds and the times, but just watch.
I saw it.
Yeah, the whole line. Boom.
Yeah, it went all the way up. Yeah, and that does seem like the modulators. When I watch Mike Morales at night, they have these new things that I've been seeing that they almost breathe. They pulse, they breathe, and it's this it's a modulation of frequencies. It's doing something. We're seeing it. It looks like a breathing something or other, and it has a whole bunch of it'll have a whole bunch of lines. Sometimes those lines will just keep it'll like pulse, it'll like I said, it'll breathe, it'll be like, and it'll just keep going, like,
check us out. It says now they have an explanation for Monday's weird weather radar image. Came out.
I could have called that out. What are they saying?
Let's see. What's up in the sky? A weather radar mystery unfolds in tri-state. I'm going to have to move this chat over just a little bit. I've got dual screens going on. Okay. So it says update. In the wee hours of the night, an answer to the mystery emerged. WEHT meteorologist Wayne Hart said a pilot told him that the air control tower at Evansville Regional Airport, that's in Indiana, reported a chaff released from military C-130 northwest of the city. National Weather Service then added another. Oh, it went back to that story. Why is it doing this? It's not wanting me to read this for some reason. Where did it go? Okay, sorry guys. All right, here we go. National Weather Service then added another detail that explained the unusually slow movement of the chaff. I don't know. That didn't look slow to me. Upper level winds can be much stronger this time of year. However, winds aloft late Monday averaged 10 to 15 mile an hour from the northwest. That would explain the rather slow movement and slow dispersion of the shaft debris. Okay.
Well, also that's a gift. So and this is another problem. Like looking at some of the stuff that they like, the tools that they have that are linked in with the internet and that you're able to see, but they're still, we're pretty much relying on them to give us like real data. Because I mean, they could give us all BS data and we would have no idea. But
the fact that they're trying to cover it up and trying to make an explanation for it, that shows you that something's going on. Somebody's saying that TPTB says it's a flock of birds.
They always say that. That's why we make fun of them and say it always is bird. It's always birds. Always. No, I mean literally, with the chemtrail and everything. Whenever they get to a point that is a strange radar signature, they will say birds, and it's like an ongoing joke. How funny that is! Because some of the stuff that they tell you is birds, which is basically this this operation, this New World Order operation, with frequencies and chemtrailing the sky. That's their go-to, is birds. And why were they releasing chaff? And by the way, there is heightened military activity, and there's objects reported, big objects reported all over. So there's something going on. To me, it feels like the beginning of like World War III or IV, whatever the hell War we're in.
Something's going on. Oh, look, update. Monday weather radar mystery solved. Updated 9:12 a.m.
And that's usually how it'll go, is like you'll have something that'll get people's attention, and then 24 to 42 hours later, they come out and they say, oh, we got it. Everything's solved. We got it all. Everything's taken care of. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, check it out. We figured it out.
Well, they're saying it's a military chaff. They're saying it released from military C-130, but why?
Exactly.
Yeah, why?
And what were they covering up? And so
okay. We don't care how slow it was going. We want to know why. And that's basically what the pilot said. This is their answer right here. Upper level winds can be much stronger. So that's
also I heard that MUFON is editing data that people are bringing to them real time. They are taking out and they are editing stuff that people are bringing to them. So say because I was going to be like, hey, what has been seen over Indiana? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just to let you know, MUFON, which is that UFO network or whatever,
right?
They're editing people's stuff, and there's a whole deal with that. So where can we go to see what people are seeing in the skies over you? Okay.
Let's go to I'm just gonna pull up a local weather station, and like it's like 60 miles away. This weather station, but
What time was this all happening?
around 9:30 p.m. last night Eastern Standard Time. But it started around 2:45 Central Time around Indiana. So it took it about 4 hours to actually be shown on the radar here.
See, because like what I'm thinking is see, they're trying to make the shaft the story, and I don't doubt for a second that shaft was dropped, but what was below that shaft that they're trying to hide? And I think they have way bigger programs for camouflage. You know, where I mean, that's old school camouflage. So they
Okay. What the heck? I wanted the radar.
Oh, good morning, Ryan from North Carolina.
Yes, morning everybody in the chat. Sorry. All right,
I was thinking about North Carolina because the big power outage. Are you guys getting any of that?
No.
No.
Nope, that's a little farther north from me.
Are you guys getting snow?
No, nothing.
Nothing,
and
huh?
You know what's funny is they were actually calling for a snowstorm over the weekend, and we had nothing. Like the teachers were afraid that they weren't going to have school yesterday.
Can you believe my friend just asked me to go snowboarding on Wednesday?
Oh,
and yeah, Mammoth we have so much snow. You should go and check it out. Mammoth Mountain. It's just like winter wonderland. It's not even winter yet, and I'm like, my friend sent it to me on Instagram, and I'm checking it out, and I'm like, this must be last year because this can't be this year. It's not even like the season yet. And he's like, yeah, this is this season.
All right, let's see if I can pull up satellite. I'm not used to this actual weather radar map. Here we go. Let's pull up the satellite imagery. Maybe base. That's pulling up. I've got Tennessee pulled up right now. It's not showing anything.
Yeah, people were reporting stealth bombers, a lot of stealth bombers in the sky. That was the day after yesterday, day before yesterday.
That almost looks like it. Look, over towards east of North Carolina, that looks like it.
What do you mean?
I'll give you a couple minutes or a couple seconds to look.
Over there off the coast?
Mm-hmm. That looks about the same size that it was. Let me pull up the base.
I'm going to see the chat. If anybody's talking about anything, seeing stuff.
Okay, somebody just posted a radar for me to pull up. I'm going to pull that radar up.
Spokes in the radar? Yeah, the spokes in the radar type thing. That's what I was talking about. The thing that breathes. And it looks like exactly spokes. Like a bicycle tire, and they pulse.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It just seems like it's a new type of device they've clicked on in the recent months.
Look down here in Texas. You can actually see the radar when it shoots out. See that?
Yeah.
The harp. I don't know. That's the only thing I can call it is a harp frequency. That's what it reminds me of. That looks to be it right there. That same exact pattern. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a call-in line. Anybody can call in. I'm going to set it up right here. And let me go ahead and type the number into the chat. And anybody can call in if you all got information.
Brian is saying there's lots of power outages here. Yeah, I was hearing about people in North Carolina losing their power. Sporadically. There's the number in the chat.
So any military, anybody that has any information on any of this, you all can call in.
People are asking. So they're basically, Kay this morning called me and said there was something that happened over her house last night, and then this story came out, and they were saying that it's basically chaff that was dropped. Strange, looks like a fast moving weather system. A little bit too fast for weather. It seems like, but I don't know how fast that was, because it's a GIF. So I don't know, how fast those were taken, but because you're saying it took 4 hours to get from where to where?
Okay, so it started showing up at 2:45 Central Time in Illinois is where it started. Then it showed up over Kentucky at around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time last night. It just popped up on the radar, and the local weather station was like, "What is this? It has to be some military chaff." And what a military chaff is when they're trying to they have some type of jet or something that they're trying to actually cover up from it showing on radar. So they try to use like aluminum foil, like used in World War II. They use like some type of aluminum foil to cover it up to where it kind of masks a storm. So it's something huge. This was something really, really big that was showing up over the sky. And I'll play the GIF again. Let's go back.
Well, at this point, we don't have any sightings of something actually seen. So technically, this could be just like some sort of drill, some sort of something that they're doing.
Okay, I've got an incoming call. Let's go ahead. All right, hold on just a second. Let me get you on speakerphone here. All right, you're live with Kay and James. How are you? Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Kay, it's the Kryptonian.
Hey, Kryptonian. How are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
You wanted anyone to call in that had something they'd seen. Friday night, I was good, yourself?
Okay, hold on 2 seconds. I think it's feeding in.
What's up?
You have it muted, James?
I do.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Kryp.
All right, great. Hi, James. By the way, Kryptonian.
Hey, Kryp.
On Friday, I was outside, and I caught them chemtrailing, like really chemtrailing, as in they actually had a plane next to the other plane. I went to go attempt to film it, and then later on that day, like literally, I'd say about 30 minutes, I had a copter that was unmarked, completely hovering overhead of me. And then I was actually followed when when the wife and I went to dinner that night.
You were followed.
Yeah, because unlike most people, I don't have a car, so I actually have to walk everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And we saw when I was filming, like I went back out later on that evening, and of course I was just trying to take a picture of the sky with all the pinks and the blues and whatnot. And there was this red Colorado pickup truck with a guy in it. He came up like literally, it seemed like out of nowhere. And he went by us, and I noticed him, and we just kept walking for a little bit. I quit filming, and I was talking to the wife, and we got down to where we had to cross at a crosswalk. I don't know why, but I just happened to look to my right, and in this parking lot, there's that guy with the Colorado. He's literally looking at me. The minute we made eye contact, he hurries up, and his car had been running. He pulled down this, motel to kind of hide.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked right at her, and I said, that's the same exact guy in the same exact car following us. Why? And she looked back, she goes, that is him. And I said, yeah, I know. So then we get over to where we're meeting up some friends to go, because it was supposed to be a Christmas party, so that's why we were going back up to her work. Where she works at, there's literally two buildings And then they used to have a third building, but they knocked it down. So now with the construction that they got going on here in Orlando for the highway, they're using it as a staging area for all their equipment, this empty lot. While we're standing out there waiting on our ride, I look down the parking lot and I see that same truck, and he backs up, turns his lights off, and sits there in the truck. The only reason why I think he lost us was when we were going to this Christmas party, there were multiple people going in different cars, and he couldn't see which car we got into.
Interesting. And that was right after you filmed the chemtrails.
Correct. After I filmed them, where you could see a huge flame blowing, I mean, like miles. You know how they try to tell us it's condensation trail? But yeah, there was a smaller plane right next to him creating a condensation trail. Big difference between the two. Like, I had it dead bang to where I was just trying my best on my little cheap phone to get a good shot so I could show everybody, look, tell me that they're not chemtrailing when you see one plane literally blowing out white smoke that's going all the way across the sky, and not even less than, I'm sure it was a few thousand feet, but it wasn't that far off between the distance of the two, to where you see a smaller plane that's leaving a condensation trail and it's disappearing after it only goes about maybe a foot from my point of view.
Okay.
Past it.
All right. And where was your location at?
Orlando, Florida.
Okay. And what time was this?
When the event took place, as far as the chemtrailing was going, I'd say it was around 2 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yep.
And then you were being followed at what time?
I was followed around, well, as far as the chopper actually started around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. When the missus got home, it was still flying around at 5. We left around 5:45, 6 o'clock was when I saw the truck.
Okay. Had you posted anything to social media? No. Okay. That's just...
The only thing I've done so far was I called Dan on Friday night on his show just to tell him about it, and now I'm telling you about it. That's the only thing I've done thus far.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling, Crip. I'm going to go ahead and see if anybody else wants to call in, but thanks for letting us know, man.
Thank you for the call, Crip.
All right. See you, man.
No problem. You guys have a good day.
You too, hon. Bye.
Very spooky.
Yeah, just to say the least. All right. We missed a call from 2329. If you want to call back. (2329), call back. Or if anybody else wants to call in. I'm not exactly sure if it places them on hold. I have to get to study this app a little more, but it looks to be working pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear him. He could hear me. I mean, that's all we need.
Yeah.
So basically, we're discussing basically overall in like, you know, in the bigger context, just everything that's going on right now as far as military movements, strange things that you've seen, power outages over in North Carolina, strange things that you've seen in the sky, just unexplained stuff, you know, overall there. Oh yeah. Ryan from North Carolina was saying how there was this massive military drill in Nevada, and he was saying that there was a lot of other things connected, other aircraft connected with that drill.
Hey,
I'd like to hear more.
Ryan, do you want to call in, man? Somebody wants to post the number back in the chat. I'd like to hear more on that, Ryan, if you want to call in.
I'll post the number. I was looking for it. Here's the number. And there it is in the chat. We're going to go ahead and paste it, and bam.
And Ryan,
all right, somebody call in.
If you're going to call in, just put your area code into the chat so that I know it's you.
Yeah, let's hear from people and see what's going down. Because there is a lot of stuff going down across the United States of America right now. A lot of strange things. And the thing with China Now the Chinese have taken some ex-foreign ambassador and they've detained him. So that thing is heating up. I mean, really bad.
They took in an ex-ambassador and detained him?
Yeah, they did. Well, it seems like they invited him to China and then they detained him. And he's like not even a current, and he works for the International Crisis Group, which really just has me going like, wait a minute. Is this some sort of like corporate way to get us into war? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But the International Crisis Group, now all of a sudden he gets detained. That was the first story that I caught. It literally I caught it as it was coming out this morning. They detained this guy, and he works for the International Crisis Group.
Wow.
And the International Crisis Group, I'm going to look it up right here. What the hell is the International Crisis Group? Lines are open.
Yeah, lines are open.
The International Crisis Group. Here, I'm going to read what exactly it is until we get another caller. Hopes for peace with Azerbaijan. Is this it? It's a nonprofit, non-governmental organization committed to preventing and resolving deadly conflict. Yeah, it's all over. Former Canadian diplomat detained in China. Ex-Canadian diplomat Michael Kovrig detained in China. International Crisis Group advisor Michael Kovrig detained in China. So it's a pretty crazy. You know, you see this and how it has to do with Huawei, 5G, China. It's just crazy. All the stuff that's going on.
Mike W. says, look who funds them. Follow the money. Exactly. Amy K. Golden Hawkins says, what about the rumblings around the state? I heard it last fall and I thought, BIM?
Oh, also we're seeing a lot of sirens, like a lot of siren testing.
Okay, she says a bomb went off and expected to be a big home in the ground and thought her house would sink. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Has anybody been talking about the sonic booms? Have they been hearing any sonic booms? I live close to Fort Knox, and they haven't been doing any amount of testing that I can hear. And they used to go off all the time. I haven't heard anything. And they used to just boom, boom, boom all the time. I mean, you've heard of Fort Knox booms, you know, and they unless they're doing some kind of special thing, I don't know. All right, we got somebody from Cincinnati, Ohio calling in.
Sweet.
All right, you're live with Kay and James. What's going on?
All right, so I just wanted to talk about some stuff that's really going on for humankind as a whole.
Okay, can you turn your phone up, please? I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I'll speak. I just wanted to talk about stuff that's going on with time as a whole. When we're talking about China, China just landed on the backside of the moon, which is important for us because we need to mine helium-3, which is collected on the moon. Astronauts are also hatching a hole as we currently speak live on the international capsule. And I just know that we're in a real important time right now. And also know that Tyler from Secure Team dropped some big news on us and advised that Harvard confirmed that there have been multiple interstellar objects spotted in our solar system around Saturn, Jupiter, and just big events going on.
Hey, James, is there any way you can mute the interference? I can barely hear him.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so you said, I'm
So you
sorry.
guys didn't get any of that?
I heard Tyler from Secure Team 10 was stating that what?
Yeah, so Harvard has confirmed that there has been multiple interstellar objects that have been parked in our solar system, and they look just like the blimp that we see in the solar system.
Interesting.
So he's got over 2 million followers. He just broke that this morning. We do have sightings in Boston of unidentified flying objects. So just like big things are going on. China's on the opposite side of the moon. We're trying to plug a hole on a Soyuz to get human beings back to ground level. Just a bunch of crazy stuff going on. And I think you guys are doing good work, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to get on the phone line. But that's all I really wanted to say.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for that. I'll look into it. All right, I've got another call coming in. Thanks, hon.
See you, bye.
All right, you're live with Kay and James. What can I do for you?
Hi, this is Amy K. Golden Hawkins that you just mentioned.
Yeah. If you could just turn your phone up. I don't know what's going on. I can barely hear anybody that's calling in. So if you could just maybe, I don't know, put yourself on speaker or just talk a little bit louder.
Yeah, I actually have it on speaker. So.
Okay, maybe turn it off speaker, and then I could maybe hear you a little bit better.
Yeah, for the radio show, if you call and just turn it off speaker, we could hear you better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, Tyler was Secure Team. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his videos, but he's actually been covering this, and it's actually worldwide. But something going on in these, and the best way I could describe it was like a bomb. I mean, I've got 31 acres, and I was in my bedroom when I heard it, and I totally expected to see a sinkhole and my house go into it. I mean, it just, the walls, the glass, it was intense.
Okay, and when was this?
This was last fall for me, but your team, it's been happening. You can even get stuff from people in Europe where they're feeling the same thing.
Huh. Interesting.
But
And just so, because I know that you guys were talking like in the chat or so, what exactly happened?
Last October, I was just like laying in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I heard this. I've heard before, but this was more intense. My bedroom, fully expecting to see a sinkhole and waiting for my house to fall in it. I just thought the glass was going to break in the windows, and other people are describing the same thing where it's happening underground. But I mean, it's, like a reverse sonic boom, but it's more intense than a sonic boom. The whole house just shakes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I've never heard before.
So like a small earthquake.
Wild.
How long did that last?
A few seconds.
Okay. Did you have any like ringing in your ear or anything right beforehand or afterwards?
Not that I noticed, but I get ringing in my ears all the time, and it's most of the time it's just one ear. It doesn't. I've only heard the boom one time, but it was enough to.
So you heard it and you felt it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And your location?
Very, very much so. My location.
Hold on.
Right on the border of Kentucky.
Okay, right on so Cincinnati, basically.
Yeah, we know that there is a lot of stuff going on underground.
Hold on. You're right on the border of where?
I'm right on the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. I'm in Portland, Tennessee.
Okay.
But again, it's, people all over. I think the last one I remember hearing about was in either South or North Carolina.
Okay.
But I've heard it I've heard them talk about it as far north as like the Dakotas, all the way down to Texas. So, and as far as out California, Oregon, Arizona.
Okay. All right. Well, honey, I appreciate you calling. I've got some other calls that are trying to come in. So thanks for that, honey.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was somebody from 4420, the last four numbers, that tried to call twice. You want to call back, I'll make sure to answer. I don't know if this has a on hold system or what, but it's like the call will come through and I can't place you on hold. So if you want to call back, just keep trying to call, keep trying to get through. I'm trying to limit these calls to about 4 minutes each. And if you all have any information on anything that you've seen last night or yesterday, or if you've heard anything, or if you know any type of military movement around your area, please call in. This right here is a military shaft that was seen on radar yesterday and last night. And it was enough to cause alert for the local news to actually put it on because there were clear skies and it was 20 degrees. So it's not like this is a major storm. And they're now saying that it was a military shaft outside of Illinois. That's where it started.
And you got to always wonder, when they go with that, like to me, it seems like they're going with the story that they can say is true, obviously, but the story isn't the shaft, or maybe it is. I mean, to me, if somebody saw something and then they were going with this, but at this point, if we could get, somebody that is at least, more of an expert and let us know what they would be using this for or what's going on. Cause to me, it seems like they're trying to hide something,
yeah,
but
they're trying to cover up something. And that's exactly what a military shaft is. They've got something in the sky that they're trying to cover up. And this is huge. This is pretty big. It starts out small and then look at it. It looks like it actually literally is growing.
But that's chaff. I mean, they're dumping it. So as it spreads out from the original source, it's going to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like a chemtrail, it starts out small and then spreads.
So yeah, we're talking about, and I also did see from Secure Team that information on MUFON and was digging into it. And I find that very curious because MUFON is supposed to be like, okay, like I saw something strange, let's document it. Let's have somewhere where people can go and understand it. They also have little things, and then you could enlarge it for the full story. And they were saying how it's being edited, and just to give you an overall kind of idea and feeling about what's going on, because we have things that are saying that there's military movement, there's all kinds of stuff, people are being called back, etc. And then on the other side, we have a place where you're supposed to, if you see anything, whatever, and you're able to go and you're able to document it, and it's supposed to stay on the website. Well, that is being edited. And to me, that's a pretty big story because that's not supposed to be edited. I mean, that's supposed to be, and then Tyler was saying how MUFON people have hijacked that years ago. And I mean, that I would basically go with the same thing, saying that MUFON has been, infiltrated. Because why wouldn't they? That's exactly what they would do, is they would want to infiltrate that.
Okay, the lines are now open. If you all want to call in, the phone number is 502-482-5171.
That is the number. And I'll go ahead and put that in the the chat. I'm actually being a good chat boy today in the chat, and
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as far as the military movement, a lot of people, there's a 3-year window that they can call. If somebody's retired from the military, they can be retired for up to 3 years and still be called back. And there's been a lot of callbacks here lately from what I've gathered. I can't list my source, but a lot of people are being called back for deployment.
Hey, Kay, can you go to the other GIF and show it? Because it shows it that sketchy, a lot more of the sketchy properties of the shaft. This one, it looks almost like a slow moving storm, or the other one, you could tell that it's trying to mimic a storm, but
Let's see.
it's the set. It's a set that one right there. Yeah, I think it's no. Hold on. No, that's a good one. Yeah. That GIF. Try that one.
I think it's the first one, the one that's real small. The Keynes one?
Yeah, go to the Keynes one.
Okay. I'm just going to make it bigger so people can see it a little bit better. Keensburg.
Yeah, because I was going to say, let's name it the Keensburg UFO instead of the Kecksburg. I was really into that this morning. Probably wasn't woken up fully, so a little bit drifty, but it is floating right over Keensburg. And see how it's just really sketchy and really, it's masquerading. It's masquerading as something like a weather phenomenon. Why would it, and this is another question. If that was chaff and it's supposed to be chaff or whatever, why is it rings like a weather system? That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen if it was. See what I mean? So it's being manipulated, I think.
See at the top of it, it says clear air mode. Clear air mode. Yet there's something in the sky. I just found that kind of ironic. And this is out of Paducah. This is the radar out of Paducah, Kentucky. At I believe it started at 3:08 p.m. Central Standard Time yesterday. And it popped up on the radars in Kentucky, on the news last night. So no telling when they actually spotted it. The article actually states that it was spotted at 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time in Illinois is where it originated. But, I mean, who knows? There's 3 different military bases that they're saying that it could have been. They're thinking that it originated from the one in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
We
know Chicago's in, there's just things going on in Chicago. That's all I'll say. Look at that sketchy Keensburg UFO.
Sketchy.
I was trying to, roll with it. The Keensburg. It's not going to maybe catch on. Maybe it will.
Keensburg.
Yeah, the Keensburg UFO.
Yeah. Hashtag Keensburg UFO.
Yeah, hashtag it.
Come on, let's make this trending. Hashtag Keensburg UFO.
So they're trying to say that everything's fine. We figured it out. It's just chaff. Don't worry. We just dropped things on you. Don't worry. We figured it out.
Yeah, nothing to see here. It's 11:11. That's right, Crip. Make a wish. Oh, it's 11:11 in Kentucky, Eastern time. Only 8:11 James's time.
That's right.
You must have slept last night.
I did.
Yeah, I did too. I slept 12 hours. I missed Dan's show and everything. Crazy. I went to sleep.
Yeah, I try to stay in bed, but after I've done the recharge and everything, and usually it doesn't take me 12 hours, I can't. I just lay there and just my eyes are wide open, and I can't do what I normally did back in the day. Back in the day, I used to sleep in.
Right.
Now, I can't. It just doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. And secondly, my dog, she won't let me, you know, as soon, I mean, actually she doesn't even wait for the sun to rise. Now she's up at 4:30 in the morning, and she does this thing, and you know, it's so annoying, but she knows how to wake me up, you know, in bed as she's waiting for me to wake up and take her out. Probably my bad for it. The first thing to do, you know, when she wakes up is take her out. But since I have white carpets and I didn't want my dog doing things, you know, I'm constantly taking her out to just make sure that just keep my floors nice. Because when I first moved in, she, you know, had her heart set on just, you know, going to the bathroom on my foot. And I was like, no way. No way.
Yeah. A dog's instinct is to mark their territory in any new location. So she was just doing her duties, man.
No, I know.
Yeah. When I had a pug, his name was Smokey, and I worked at the bank and I was off, and I'm not sure why I took him to town with me, but I decided to stop by the bank and show him off, right? What's he do right there in the main lobby? He goes around a little circle and takes a dump right there in the middle of the bank lobby. I'm like, oh my word.
I know, and it's so embarrassing. Even though, I mean, they're animals and there's nothing to do, it's still like, my pooch is doing that. Actually, my dog, she likes to go with nobody watching her, even me. Like, she'll look at me and go like, what are you doing? You're watching me. Like, because she's used to going, you know, without a leash. You know, she got really used to that. And so now she looks at me and I'm like, well, I got to stay here. You know, you got to be on a leash. So
yeah,
can't give you your privacy, honey.
Exactly. Speaking of dogs, I thought I almost lost Hazel, my oldest Frenchie. She
yeah, I was gonna say that. You let me know this morning. You fed her grapes, but then 4 days later something happened.
Yeah, she started getting sick, like deathly sick, like literally lost like 8 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, I took her to the vet, and so they put her on a vitamin shot, steroid shot. I had some anti-nausea medicine here. They said I could give it to her, so didn't have.
And just for you guys to know, don't feed your dog grapes.
Yeah, and there's many videos on YouTube of people feeding dogs grapes. Like, I want to literally go into every video and be like, what are you doing? I had no idea. And here's the thing. I have 2 French bulldogs. Hazel, the mama, she liked them. She ate like 3 grapes. And the son, Dozer, which he's only a little over a year old, he spit them right back out. So it's almost like one dog knew and one dog didn't. It was weird. But the grapes do not affect all dogs. It's like it'll affect one dog, other dog it won't affect.
But it can kill your dog.
It can. One grape can kill a dog.
One grape can kill your dog, so don't take the chances.
Don't take the chance. Onions, chocolate, or grapes is big no-no.
Hey, and believe me, I've fed Bubba a grape before, and then my mom, she was like, you don't feed dog grapes? And I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Right.
She's like, that could kill Bubba. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we both have real small dogs, you know, they're toy breeds. So yeah. And this one woman,
Bubba takes offense to you calling her a toy. She just looked at me very weird. Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, Bubba. Sorry about that. Yeah. So this one woman, she had a bull mastiff, had literally got a whole bag of grapes out of the garbage and ate the whole bag. And I guess she had a friend that was a vet, and he like made a call, or he like came over there, and you know what he gave the dog to like induce vomiting?
Grape.
No, to induce the vomiting, to get rid of the grapes, they gave the dog hydrogen peroxide. And so he was a vet. He knew what he was doing to induce vomiting. So if your dog eats something and you need to induce vomiting, get one of those little syringes, like baby syringes for medicine, and give them some hydrogen peroxide, and it will make them vomit. Good to know. Of course, you want to look up your dog's weight and the amount to give them. Don't just give them any amount, but it is good to know as far as if you need to induce vomiting on your doggy.
So he gave her a shot of hydrogen peroxide
orally, like got one of those little syringes and like put some hydrogen peroxide in its mouth, and it induced vomiting.
Oh.
Yep. Yes, apples and bananas are good for dogs. Okay, so the phone lines are still open. If you all want to call in, I've got 2 calls from 4420. 1 call.
There we go. They're just waiting us to get off the dogs.
Galesburg, Illinois. You're on live with Kay and James.
Yeah, I grew up down on Scott Air Force Base.
Okay.
And yeah, there's plenty of tunnels down there of all the strip mining. Illinois is pretty much strip mined for the coal and stuff. But check out UFO over Southern Illinois 11 years ago, part 1 and 2. 11 years ago, it's under Rogers, all small, 53108. And yeah, I've seen plus 76. I saw one. I was 12 years old. Really trippy, and I've seen a couple, and they've been, chemtrailing to death up here just this morning. It was clear this morning.
Rogers 53 what?
There's a couple videos.
Can you turn your phone up just a little bit? Can you turn your phone up just a little bit? Turn your mic up or take it off of speaker. I can barely hear you.
It's not on speaker.
Okay. Maybe you just want to talk a little bit louder.
Okay.
There you go.
I grew up down around Scott Air Force Base.
Okay.
And check out UFO over Southern Illinois, part 1.
Okay.
And 2. It was 11 years ago. It's Rogers, small caps, no caps, 53108. And yeah, there's all cops, and it's got the actual St. Clair County police officers going to dispatch and everything. So yeah, that must be a flight path between, you mentioned Chicago.
You said Southern Illinois?
I'm watching on TV.
Okay.
Southern Illinois, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 27 UFO sightings in Illinois since September. And then I've got multiple UFO sightings in Southern Illinois near St. Louis.
Yep.
July 25th, 2017.
But this is 11 years ago.
Oh, 11 years ago.
Over Southern Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Go to YouTube. Rogers, ROGERS, 53108.
53108.
53108.
You need to go to YouTube on that one.
Okay. All right. Okay, so in YouTube, I need to type in Rogers lowercase.
Yes.
Okay.
Lowercase.
Okay.
On YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And watch both them. Them are real trippy.
53108. Okay.
Yep.
And 144 subscribers. Is this your channel?
No. I just.
Oh, okay. I see it.
found
UFO of Southern Illinois. I found it. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Right.
There's part 1 that has the actual police officers on camera testifying.
Okay. Let me turn the audio on. Hold on just a second.
All right, well, I'm going to get out the phone here and let the other callers get in.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank
you, sir.
God bless.
God bless you too, hon. All right.
Let's watch it.
If I get a phone call in the middle of this, I'm just going to play this and then I'll pause it if I have to. All right, let's play this. I'm going to turn the audio up and then play it.
At the Regional 911 Center located in Belleville, all conversations are recorded. This tape begins with a radio dispatch from 911 operator Tina Joaquin.
I just received a call from Highland PD, reference to a truck driver just stopped in and said there was a flying object in the area of Lebanon. It was like a 2-story house. It had white lights and red blinking lights, and it was last seen southwest over Lebanon. Possibly, could you check the area?
At all officer on patrol in the city of Lebanon, Illinois, responded to the dispatcher's query.
Did they say if the truck driver was DUI or anything?
He said he was serious.
Just a quick question. If I happen to find it, what am I supposed to do with it?
After searching for 2 minutes, the officer radioed the dispatcher.
To be advised, there's a very bright white light east of town, and it keeps changing colors. I'll go there and see if maybe it's that. It doesn't look like an aircraft, though. That's affirmative. Not knowing it's not a star. Would you contact Scott Air Force Base to see if they have anything flying in this area, please? Well, whether it's a plane or not, it's heading westbound now. Matter of fact, if the shadow officer looks up, they can probably see it by now.
6 miles southwest, a call came from another police officer, this time in Shiloh, Illinois.
2550. I see something, but I don't know what that is.
13 miles southwest in Millstadt, another police witness reported a similar sighting.
SIMCOM 6004.
Go ahead.
I've got that object inside also.
Are you serious?
It's huge.
Does it look like what does it look like to you?
It's kind of V-shaped. Really.
Moments later, a fourth police witness, an officer from Dupo, Illinois, contacted the dispatcher.
Our first scene, I open eyes, you can see the different colors. Now it appears to be white. Very large. It's hard to tell. It's pretty far off in the distance. This object was above me about 500 feet. It was huge.
There were no more calls to the dispatcher. Whatever it was, if indeed there was anything, vanished into the night skies over Illinois. But police are trained to be reliable observers, and 4 different officers from 4 different departments all reported seeing something that they could not explain. What happened on the night of January 5th, 2000? This is the story of a UFO over Illinois.
So that was longer than 11 years.
Yeah.
Talking to police officers who say they saw a UFO early Wednesday morning. 3 officers in Dupo.
Within 48 hours, the local press picked up the story of the large flying object which had been observed by more than 6 eyewitnesses. Their accounts bear close scrutiny. What follows is a detailed chronological report of their experiences.
Okay, did you see that? It looked like the damn thing.
Do what?
Did you see that right next to it? If you rewind it just a little, it looks like the exact radar image of the thing that was right next to it.
Their experiences.
Back a little bit more.
Okay.
Back a little bit more. Nope, keep going. Nope, you missed it, Kay.
Okay.
Keep going back.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. See up to the right there? See that long? No, you missed it. You were there. It's right behind this one.
There's a delay, so.
Yeah, sorry. You were there. Keep going.
Where it says eyewitness accounts?
Right before that, yeah. All I'm saying is there was a long
green
type
line.
It looked.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that? You saw that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just the spotlight.
Okay. No. Not that. Not on the screen right now. You were there. Never mind.
Officers who say they saw a UFO early Wednesday morning. 3 officers in Dupo.
Within 48 hours, the local press picked up the story of the large flying object which had been observed by more than 6 eyewitnesses. Their accounts bear close scrutiny. What follows is a detailed chronological report.
Right there.
Experiences. Just before.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You saw it? Yeah, I mean, it's just on there, but it's kind of funny that it looks like the exact same shaft return.
right there where I've got it paused right now. If you just want to wait just a second. Where it shows the different shapes.
No, it's before that, and it's not anything that they're trying to show, but there's this weird.
On the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got it right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to play this whole video.
Yeah, see that right there? I mean, they don't even talk about it, but it's the same type. It's a long, and that's not the UFO, but what is that?
I think that almost looks like the type of map that they're using. See the water? That almost looks like a landmass or a water map.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to play this whole video, but I will put the link in the description box.
It's the Obama UFO. He's coming out of Chicago, hot.
Yeah.
The commie UFO.
Keensburg.
The Keensburg UFO, that's right.
Okay, 2329 if you want to call back, or 4420. I don't know if they want me to call them back. I can call them back and see if they answer. You want me to try doing that?
No, that's stalkerish. Don't do that.
Okay. I don't want to be a stalker.
Yeah, don't be a stalker.
And I have to refrain from playing too many YouTube videos, so please don't put me too many YouTube videos in the links, guys. Alrighty, because YouTube will censor and then they'll strike me, and I really don't want to be struck from live streaming.
All right, we just wanted to check that out, and you didn't play the whole video, and please don't strike Kay. She's just trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. But like, okay, so if you all are just tuning in, looks like there was a military chef around 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night over the tri-state areas of Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. We are now officially hashtagging this as Keensburg UFO. So if you want to call in, the number is 1-502-482-5171. You can talk to me and James. And if you have any military information, if somebody's been deployed recently, you don't have to give any names. You can just there's a big military movement at the moment.
Yeah, if you got any top secret information, just go ahead and pass that on. Just kidding.
James, somebody to call us or wants us to call them. Now, if you could just call the phone number, James, Neil, the call-in number is just been put into the chat. I'm going to remove this from the chat so that you don't have your number out there. There you go. Don't put your phone number in the chat. You can call us. We don't want to dox anyone. So, you put your phone number out there, that's just not good. So the phone number is 1-502-482-5171. And yeah, I had to turn the ringer up because I had it on vibrate and kept missing some calls and my phone wasn't vibrating. So don't know what the deal is there. So if you want to call back, or if you've got some new information, you can call us. And, a military shaft, from what we've gathered, has not been used. Well, it was actually, I'm not saying it hasn't been used since then, but they did use a type of military shaft in World War II. For what, we really don't know. Like I said, these were clear skies. The weather, it was in the 20s around this area. So it looks like a storm, but there was no storm. And this is
and it's a fake storm. You can see the GIF. It's a sketchy fake storm.
Yeah. They're trying to cover something up. It was some type of craft or something that they try to use. They use aluminum to cover it up so that so that it doesn't show up as like a craft or some type of ship or, jet or something on radar. So they use the aluminum as a shaft to cover it up.
Now that was old school technology. Now they just build the freaking planes that don't have you know, they have stealth technology, or they'll have, you know, that's the whole thing with the stealth aircraft and everything. I mean, are they going to keep doing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was he doing? Why would they have to just cover up that one area? Or what are they doing? We don't know if there was an object below. We really don't know if there was an object below.
Okay.
So,
2125.
right, Kay?
2125. If you want to call right back, the phone did not ring. It just said missed call. So call me right back. As you walk in here, the phone did not ring. Don't ask me why. It just said missed call. Two 125.
So, okay, is that correct?
What's that? What's correct?
As far as getting something, I mean, I'm just trying to think. Okay, say if they had like a huge triangle UFO that's, I mean, literally humongous. They can't just keep dropping chaff.
Who knows what they can do? Okay.
I mean, they could. I don't know.
Okay, Texas, you're on the phone with James and Kay.
Hey, James and Kay. James Neal, the Watchman here.
Hey, Neil. Hey, James Neil.
As well.
Yeah, how's it
you
going?
guys doing?
Going pretty good. How are you?
Right. I finally got through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get through with some bombshells, the Marf show last night. I couldn't get through them. I got some big stuff here, you guys.
Okay.
James probably heard me a few times on the Beer News, but well, I'll go ahead and tell you because I've already been targeted. But I'm ex-militia leader of California, and you guys can verify that if you go on the LA Times from the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And I tie in the past to what's happening now, and there's some huge stuff happening that's been planned back in the early 90s that's actually taking place at the border, is about to go down, in my humble opinion, and some stuff that's in your face about the Clinton crime cartel that's out on Showtime showing conspiracy, selling us out to the Chinese and what's getting ready to happen. So I wanted to point out a couple bombshells for you guys, and maybe connect some dots if you want.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah, absolutely. Let her rip.
You there, James? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying let her rip. I'd like to hear what you got here.
Okay. The first one is something that I've been telling people for years, and they haven't really connected the dots enough to really understand it's real. But I'm, like I said, I was former pastor of the militia of California before we got taken out by the feds. And we went before Congress with Bob Fletcher and John Trockman of the militia of Montana. We confronted HARP. We showed a 6-pound folder, a notebook of everything from Waco to Ruby Ridge to the FEMA camps to the New World Order to the plan to take out the militia. We asked Dianne Feinstein back then, is there a plot to arrest militia leaders? She wouldn't answer us. She put her eyes down and then started to try to entrap some of my friends and leaders of other militias. How many guns are enough? When will you break the law? How much ammo do you need? And then we started to ask questions of her, and now you see the same Illuminati priestess, Dianne Feinstein, standing by Trump. He says, don't worry, we'll grab the guns and we'll try to worry about due process later.
Right.
She's still trying to bring in global dominance. Now we have it with tanks that say European EU tanks with foreign troops right now, proven fact, in France, trying to enforce what? Carbon tax. Now, if you guys have been listening to me for a while, James, I told you for years, they're going to figure out a way to tax the air that you breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And the French people already pay 46% tax, and then they pay $8 a gallon for gas. And then you're going to put another 10% for just existing that goes into the hands of the elite like Marcon, that's connected with the central banksters and the New World Order. So that's going on. People say, oh, foreign troops, that'll never happen here. Well, it was happening in the 90s. That's why I almost went to jail. You can verify this in the LA Times. We were very trained. We had Russian and German crack troops in Kansas and LA. It made the front page of the LA Times. Our leader went on television. Then they set out to shut us down and illegally arrested people in our group. And then I got buzzed by black helicopters right over my home when I had a national summit meeting at my home. So I'm sharing sensitive data. But here's the bombshell. Everybody write this down. It says watch. Is the U.S. military planning to take over America? This is not some right-wing conspiracy video that doesn't have credit. This is a real video training, Pentagon training video to take down what they call non-combatants, or what I know they call us useless eaters, people that are unemployed or connected to patriot groups or what they call subversives that speak against the state. You'll see the actual training connected with Jade Helm to put us in FEMA camps inside from the Pentagon, their own video. That's huge. Did you hear what I said, guys?
Go ahead and repeat that again.
Okay. Type it in. Is the U.S. military planning to take over America? It's a training video. It talks about the mega cities and the problem of the future. In other words, the New York elite, the 1%ers, have their own military, and they plan to do a culling of patriots, gun owners, and conservative Christians, and it's in writing.
Space
now,
Force?
the next bombshell is going to blow James's mind and everyone's mind.
Okay.
I'm about to connect Jade Helm to World War III for a fact in China. And then I'm going to back it up with something that's in your face that's on actual cable TV that you can verify with the Clintons. Okay?
Okay.
The next one is, it's called, write it down, guys, Army After Next. Part 1. A veteran's confession. This guy went out, Army intelligence, he put his life on the line. He shows the document with the People's Liberation Army back in the 90s where they planned to take us out with the Chinese, stage World War III. It is the plans for World War III. What do we have now? Russian jets and Iranian jet bombers is what I'm getting. That are staging down near Venezuela. They're only 30 minutes from us. So we've known for years that they want to use the Chinese to take us down. You'll see the documents in Army After Next from the Army, secret stuff, in that video. I had lost track of it, James, but I found it again. It's back up, okay?
Okay.
So that's the other thing. So those are two huge bombshells that confers with my great ancestor's vision, who was George Washington, believe it or not, where the angel says we get invaded by the Russians and the Chinese. The Mormon version is the boys stop them at the Rockies, okay? This lines up with David Wilkerson's vision and Dmitry Duneman that we get invaded by the Russian and the Chinese as well. But the next
do you know about that really quick, to stick...
Cable TV.
Hold on, just
jot this down. It's called Witch Hunt. Witch Hunt episode 3. It aired December 2nd on Showtime. This is how God works with me. Watch that movie. It tries to spin it against Trump, and they show Trump at the end like what he's doing is worse. What do they show? They show the death of Vince Foster investigation that they were trying to do. They show the Monica Gate, where they were trying to investigate, Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. The third one is China Gate. In that movie, you will see, guys, you hear me on Showtime. Look it up. It's called Witch Hunt.
Yep.
The Clintons. You will see bags of money, checks, huge bags being put in front of the Clintons, in front of the White House or the Capitol, where the Chinese wanted access directly to the president. My other buddies in the chats have sent me videos that our own government, through a document, has sold us out to the Chinese. They own our debt. So like when a tow truck when you don't make your payment on your car, like a tow truck driver, they're going to come in and take your home from you. That's another reason maybe they're burning out California. But you guys can all verify that stuff through Deborah Tavares and the planned burnout of California. But anyway,
I heard they were doing the burnouts in California because they were actually wanting to put a new train line in for some reason.
Yes, be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a guy call me in investments. He said, "You're going to see it's going to get passed." If he wanted me to raise money, he goes, "You're good in sales. I want you to run this." It was a black gentleman, a congressman, and he said, I said, "No, it's impossible. They like vetoed the vote. I don't." And he goes, "No, I've got strings on the inside. It's going to get passed." You know, so they got billions of dollars of grant money and government money where they want that thing to be, put through there. And everyone that has opposed them has been like squashed like an ant, you know. But the guy actually said to me, "Why don't you come aboard and help run the sales, like raise venture capital for it?" And I didn't believe him, but then later I see that it gets like passed somehow after it was voted no by the people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, could they be that ruthless? What I know about the Illuminati, the pedophiles that are about to be exposed with the indictments, if that's real, I would say nothing is above these people, man. They eat their own.
Right.
And they'll tell you they're Christians and the best people while they're selling uranium-1 to Russia and laundering drug money from heroin from Afghanistan, the fake war there where we're growing drugs, and money laundering the money through North Korea, which has all been a setup. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is watch those three. And do you remember, James, the false flag nuclear attack on Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they sent out that fake
fake
missile.
To you guys?
Yeah.
How about Japan? Right after that, how about Japan? You remember that?
Right.
Right after that, how about Florida? Oh, Putin's going to blast us with S-3 missiles.
Right, he had it pointed right at us.
Military base in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we're being set up. You're being lied.
We are.
And it's all a stage. They're working both ends, and they're going to bring about a global list new world order. With Google, run by the Chinese now, Facebook and all, has everything you say and do in a file with your name on it. When you speak against the government, you're going to be targeted just like they're doing in China.
Right. Just like the credit score, the whole credit thing going on. Let me ask you this. You told me that new military branch, is that called Space Force? This was just put out June of this year.
Uh-huh.
Space Force, Trump orders new branch of U.S. military.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that first video you said to look up that you lost that you found, is that on YouTube?
It is now again on YouTube. It's got 2 flags on it. It's a black gentleman from Army Intelligence.
Okay.
It's called Army After Next.
Army.
Now,
hold on.
After
Army.
Next.
You're kind of cutting out, so let me just
Army After Next.
Army After Next. Okay.
Hang on, I'm putting it off speaker. Army After Next, Part 1.
Okay.
A Veteran's Confession.
Okay, got it. All right.
Now type in also for me, okay, James and is it Kate?
Yeah, Kate. Yeah.
Kate. Type in also for me, Jade Helm Decoded by John Wells. In there, you're going to see they have an artificial software machine called Pelletier that they talked about at the Bilderbergers, and who's behind it? Another New World Order guy.
You say Palantir?
They're going to implement Pelletier. Yeah, you got it. They're going to implement that with some sort of AI death machine. In other words, they have death robots. They'll come into a town and they'll go, "Sorry, James Munder, you got too many followers and you've got a threat assessment level too high. You've been targeted for extraction. Either surrender your arms or we're coming in." Now, if you guys don't believe me, type in another bombshell. Red list, blue list, Jack McLand. Now, I met with him for my film. He's a patriot. He's in front of the White House. He explains how they already have red list, blue list. You'll see those stickers on your mailboxes. in some areas. We're getting a lot of reports on this. It's called terraforming.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
basically, if you're red list, they're going to pull you out of your home and shoot you in the head.
Yeah, I
the
remember
blue
that.
list, you go to a FEMA camp. Yeah, indoctrination.
Yep, on the mailboxes. Yep.
And if you guys don't believe that, go to Steve Quayle, terraforming, and your cell phone will get you killed. And Planet X, World War III. You'll see basically China has been promised your home and your real estate. The Russians that are going to be used to disarm you, and which we have footage of, are going to get all your stuff inside your home. They've been promised that. You'll see paperwork where Obama has signed documents to bring foreign troops here because they may blow the Cascadia near Yellowstone.
Is that the one where he talks about it being a watershed event? Steve Quayle's watershed?
And Trump's saying this is the calm before the storm, and then he warns with evangelical Christians, they're getting ready to come against you. Did you guys know that? Hear about that?
No.
So either Trump is real and he's draining the swamp and he's from God and he's going to take down the pedophiles, which I've stood up with Kevin, not Blanchard, what's his last name? When I was in Thailand, I was trying to help the kids because I hate abuse against kids. And a lot of these congressmen and media are involved in all that pedophile stuff. Yeah. It's all vile, and they need to be hung or shot or put in jail. So either he's who he says he is, and he's giving hints to the patriots, or the indictments are against us, against veterans, gun owners, Christian and right-wing leaders, and people that are got a high profile on YouTube like you guys and me.
Right.
So I've already been targeted, and they have a flag by my name, and I've already been called by the FBI. You guys could type in 1997 LAPD defends arrest of militia leaders, and you'll see how well trained we were and all the lies they said about us, and they did a legal attack on us. Because why? We were exposing the truth. The pedophiles, the New World Order, the globalists are still at hand. Obama and Hillary are still doing the weathermen plot to put, like John F. Kennedy said, every man, woman, and child in jail. And this is still their plot. That's why you have all the FEMA camps and the underground dumps that the elite are getting ready to escape to right now. We're being staged, folks. It's a fake World War III, and they're going to lock us down with martial law. A couple nukes, which they've already tried in South Carolina, you can verify that was blown up in the ocean with seismic verified by white hats. Then you're going to see that the people will acquiesce to through fear, control through chaos to a new world order.
What will be that event?
Okay.
It's death to the new world order. We're going to stand.
Hey, James. James Neal.
Yeah.
James is trying to talk to you. Go ahead.
What do you think that will be that event that will bring in troops, and there's going to have to be something, because they can't just start bringing in troops and etc. So what do you think will be that event that will cauterize all this?
Well, I take a preponderance of evidence, and I've been studying this for years, and I'm listening to Mike Adams, Alex Jones, all of them. I spent hundreds of hours before that. I've talked on the Alex Jones show. Let me tell you this also. I forgot another bombshell. You guys can research this document. It's going to turn you white. Your skin's going to crawl. I verified on the Alex Jones show on my own because we got intel in the militia. We knew when the government was going to shut the power down in 3 states 3 weeks ahead of time. We knew that the Atlantic Olympics was going to be attacked 2 months before it happened, and it was going to be blamed on right wings. We knew. I had videos of bodies blown out of the Oklahoma Murrah building, and that bombs that didn't go off, and it was no truck bomb. Yeah, I did. I had those. I had documents for martial law where they could take control of the media. There's a secret pyramid on the FM Civil Control Manual for martial law. In there's blocks, and it says, one is federalization of police, infiltration of militias, leaders to take them out. Yet the top capstone is gun confiscation. To answer your question, I've been taking pictures, and you've seen them on the Nibiru News show. God leads me to front lines where things are happening on false flags. I've sent pictures in verified gun confiscation containers being moved all over the United States right now. I sent pictures in of these weird Humvees with these big satellite dishes. James, is it the Pelletier? Jade Helm? Internet wireless system when the EMP hits and only they have communications, you know, with a false EMP blamed on North Korea by design? Or is it an economy collapse? Because really, when you have GDP and especially oil hitting record lows where countries just aren't buying, that's showing you their economies are slowing. When you take into account John Wesley Clark's came out of a meeting, hey, we're going to go to war with 8 countries in 5 years. He goes, why? The other general goes, I don't know. I guess we're good at it. So-called weapons of mass destruction. While we got babies and innocent people dying every day because we're bombing the heck out of them with small nukes in Yemen and other places. And, you know, Trump did blow up some of the poppy fields for the Bush, against the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate. So I think with the latest movements of the Russian planes that are nuke planes, James, if you look back to the Protocols of Zion, Adam Weishaupt, their plan, they said they were going to, they did World War I. They played both sides of it. They also did World War II in Vietnam, which was really a police action. Then the third one is World War III. Their goal is to foment, James, listen in writing, is to foment Zionism against Muslims. Don't we have ISIS created by our own government? Don't we have Al-Qaeda? Yes, we do. Follow the money. So, you know, meanwhile, those videos with the fake nuke attacks, you could tell it was done by our government. You could tell that it was a false flag, you know. I go to visit my late grandma in Florida, and there's a military drill before there in Jacksonville. The next day when I'm leaving, there's a false flag shooter, you know, at this video gamer thing, you know. Everywhere I go, false flag, gun control, weather control. You'll see if you type in, you guys, this is another bombshell. To answer your question, James, type in Senate Subcommittee on Terrorism, 1995. You'll see my friends in the militia.
Something's wrong with the audio.
Hold on 2 seconds, honey. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. Somehow the audio just went down. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Let me mute you. It's not letting me do anything with it.
It happens. I apologize. I'm getting hot under surveillance on a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I mean, Roy Potter, he said my name, the whole show got cut off. You know?
Right.
It won't let you back up either.
Hold on.
They got to you.
No, it's just you're like, I can hear you, but you're not on speaker anymore. It's weird.
Just touch the speaker and touch it again.
I'm trying to. It won't let me even turn it off. I tell you what, call me right back. Call me right back.
And where was I leaving off? Because it was a bombshell.
You said Senate subcommission.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. Call me right back.
Okay.
All right.
As soon as he goes to answer my question, he gets just.
Yeah, like I could hear him, but I would have.
No, I know, I understand. It sounded like they cut the.
And you know what?
I mean, I don't know.
It says excellent mobile data at right now at the top of the screen. It says excellent, and it still won't let me hang it up. So I'm gonna have to. It like won't even let me. Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, we're trying to get him back. We said just to call back because the mechanism just went out on Kay's phone. So
yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call him right back because it would not let me. I'm gonna call him. You have an active call on this number. It's not ending. So here, I'm gonna have to close out the app. This is crazy, you guys. I'm going to have to literally close the app out and then call him back. It says dialing. Let me close the app out. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so I'm going to have to open the app back up. I'm going to call him right back. It's not even letting me put it on speaker. Okay, guys. All right, I'm going to shut my phone down, shut it back up. James, I know you can hear, so I'm going to power it off and restart it because the app is still, it wouldn't let me end the call. It wouldn't let me put him back on speaker. It's crazy. So I'm powering off my phone, powering it back on, and then I will call you back, James Neal, okay? This is crazy. Yeah, I was trying to ask him back in 97 what to type in because I don't know whether to Google it or whether to YouTube it. So I've got my screen sharing up. And my phone's powering back on. So yeah, it happened again. It's crazy, isn't it? All right. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me.
And what's crazy is people are just trying to protect themselves. So if FBI are saying that, you know, I've heard FBI say that they what they do is because they don't want an uprising or this or that. That doesn't make any sense in this point where you have people, you know, how many guns is enough and all this, and then they start messing with them. It just seems like they're messing with them, and it's like. Our military and our government supposed to protect Americans, yet they're going after Americans, and
just like that soldier that called in and exposed Operation Hot Musket, he's actually sitting in jail right now. You all
for what?
For exposing it, for showing his orders and telling the whole world about it.
No way, really?
It is, yes. All right,
holy hell!
I am calling you back. Here we go. It says, please leave your message for. Let's try it again.
Yeah, they went and snagged him. The men in black went and snagged James McNeil.
I think. Wow. Yeah, I know, right?
Happened. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Let me get it out before they try to shut us down again. This has happened when I tried to reach Roy Potter on some sensitive data. His whole live stream got cut off. But the other thing is the Senate, James, the answer your question is the Senate subcommittee on terrorism. You'll see Bob Fletcher, God bless his soul, he's gone now. But I met with him personally for my film and stuff, and he exposed weather control. So I ask you, like they weren't, please don't use weather control. You'll see the militia leaders saying, please don't do that to us. Haven't we had a lot of weather control guys the last few years, and isn't it affecting us now? Of course it is, right? The other thing is, in there, we exposed everything from Oklahoma to Waco to the New World Order, in the federalization of the police, where they have tanks and armor now, where they take their orders now from the government. That's illegal. That's a violation of posse comitatus. So to answer your question, I think the false flag looking glass that will be formulated against us soon may be an actual EMP. Why do I think that? Because of Hillary Clinton's statement. I'm warning about an EMP. We're vulnerable. Now we have a whole agency dedicated to it, James. Then also,
very fishy.
Real that they've been doing. Wouldn't this be nice to cover up all the investigations and indictments that are gone? They could say, guess what? Unless you had a Faraday cage, all the info has been erased. We can't make arrests because there's no records anymore.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They go underground in their dumbs. Then they do a false flag World War III bombing a lot of our cities with small nuclear nukes, which I've been online all night last night and talking to other patriots. It's survivable if you know what you're doing, but that's enough to put a lot of fear and terror into most people, and a lot of people will surrender their guns at that point. Or what's going to happen, in my humble opinion, now listen carefully, is that the government will say, if you need clean drinking water, it's radiation-free. If you want radiation-free food, come to Walmart. We're going to chip you. Then we have the pastor clergy response team, which I'm trying to come against false pastors. They're going to come to your door and tell you to surrender your guns. If you don't believe that one, see, America's churches pledge allegiance to the New World Order. So you'll be told to go to a FEMA camp to get food and water, and you'll be chipped. And that's when the 5G will kick in, and a new digital currency, James. I think a currency reset is in the works right now from my studies. I'm a former gold broker as well. And I think that the American dollar is failing, and a lot of countries are stopping to trade in our dollars, and they'll just kill the petrodollar. There'll be chaos for about 2 weeks, and then they'll bring in a 5G wild. My friend that was going to help me do my film, Aaron Russo, who was the producer for Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. See Mark of the Beast with Aaron Russo. He mysteriously died afterwards. He said he was with a Rockefeller. He said basically in the future it'll be electronic cash, and that if you give $5 to your son, it'll be tracked. There'll be no place to hide. If you speak out against the government like China, your signal will be turned off. Guess what? 2 days ago, Dabu 777 put out a video. Microsoft is in talks with MasterCard and others on how to put in a national facial recognition system. But to survive, go to the old path, get rid of the cell phone. See Steve Quayle's, your cell phone will get you killed. They will track you, and they're listening to everything you're saying on the cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of the transactions, will be done through your cell phone, but it's also a way the NSA, CIA, and DHS and others are listening to you now. You see how they cut me off, and they have files on everyone. I used to work in cloud computing, investment dollars, and those companies were being bought out for billions. It didn't have much revenue because they need space to stack all our data. So they'll have files on you 10 years from now when they have the New World Order. Oh, James Munder, yeah, you want to travel out of the country? Oh, no, we can't let you do that. Do you remember you said this and this on that date? And you're a threat, a domestic terrorist threat, and we have suspended your passport. That's the future, 1984, George Orwell. These people are insane, and we got to stand now or we're going to lose everything. So my point to answer your question, I'm really torn between fake nuke attack and an EMP or economy collapse. I think those three, James. And also the raid at the border was planned in the 90s. You're going to see when you watch the video, Army After Next, that was planned back in the 90s. You'll see the document about the Chinese, how we studied the Chinese, and how Bill Clinton gave the Port of Long Beach to China, and how they're the New World Order baby. And basically what they're doing in China and Europe, they're going to try to bring here, guys. And this is it. It's like two trains colliding between light and darkness, So if you're a patriot, you love the Constitution, I invite you to take my lead and watch those three things I told you. And the movie on Showtime, you'll see that the Clintons passed, listen to this, James, in that on Showtime, you'll see that the Clintons passed an executive order called Attorney General Privilege or something like that. So when these guys, you'll see Ken Starr on there and them talking about how they wanted to prosecute the Clintons, and how it got to a certain level where they said 3 people cannot be prosecuted. And that was Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and John Kerry. And aren't these guys behind a lot of our problems between uranium one to selling us out to the Chinese, selling our country out? They want to profit from us, and they have, and you'll see that verified. In the movie, The Clinton Chronicles, in the movie that I was going to do to expose the Clintons, they threw a rose to Carroll Quigley. Who's Carroll Quigley? He wrote Tragedy and Hope. in that book, A Rothschild Scholar, they believe that we, the little people, are better off ruled by them. And they said in there, watch this, James, that concentric circles of power, you get enough corrupt judges, you get enough paid off corrupt politicians, you can pull off anything, is what they basically said. And now, aren't they doing it? Why isn't Hillary in jail for over the 55 people that are dead? Or some say there's 95.
Yeah, there's more than that. Yeah, the kill list is just increasing.
Why was he in jail for peeling the face off that poor girl where they did spirit cooking with Huma Abedin? It's all over the dark web. Why aren't they in jail for their sex islands with Epstein that had a school to groom pedophile kids? Because they have enough corrupt politicians and judges and police on their side. And secretly pulling the strings with Obama with the former government trying to undo what Trump was doing. So there's a coup d'etat right now in Washington. It's all getting ready to explode, James. That's why we got tanks on the street. See the movement. Watch that video. You'll see hardware is being moved all over the country right now. And this time the war's going to be on our own soil.
Yep. So
they're going to run a lot of Chinese through Mexico, and a lot of them are already here in Alabama. You can verify this at Dave Hodges or and you'll see Russians are already here. Some believe that they're underground waiting for the go code. And see Mike Adams on that as well. And then they're going to hit 900 cities. And there's a lot of MS-13 and Sonola cartels in there. Also, already the Furious, which Eric Holder put in jail with Obama and Bill Clinton. So either the indictments are real or the indictments are against us patriots. See martial law plan fully exposed by Alex Jones. You'll see the documents from NDAA to Patriot Act, where they're naming gun owners, veterans, and Christians as the target. Pentagon stating, listen to this, James. The Pentagon stating that treat them as hostile. And why would they just recently say that, that we're the big threat? Patriots and gun owners, constitutionalists. They're not at war with some terrorists. They're turning on their own people. Yep. And this is what Harry Truman said. Eisenhower, beware the military-industrial complex. What have they done to Trump? They said, we're going to kill you. Philip Mudd, ex-CIA, right on the news. They said, we're going to attack you, and we're going to get you out of there. And other senators and politicians have called for the death of Trump. This is unbelievable. Trump has called them the deep state. He has called them the biggest threat to freedom. And he's right, and he's warned Christians they're coming against you. Come on, guys, wake up out there. Get armed, get informed, and get ready. So the Queen of England said, enjoy your last Christmas. What does she mean?
She actually said that last year.
Why would Trump say, this is the calm before the storm? It's crap getting ready to hit the fan. I would say the way that there's a lot of troop movement overseas and gearing up, that they're going to blow it up. First, there'll be a civil war, then World War III, but definitely an EMP or economy collapse mixed in there. It'll be so bad, like Kissinger said, the people today, he goes, they protest foreign troops on their streets. Tomorrow, they will beg for them. Now, why would he say that? And why would Trump meet with Kissinger? Bob Dole, I left a message when, you can look this up in the papers. They had foreign troops. They had a little American town set up. And they said they were practicing gun confiscation door to door. I called into Bob Dole's office and don't dare do that in California. I said it's going to be hell to pay, and I left him a message. And later, it made the front page of the LA Times. We had Russian troops in California doing so-called multiple joint tests training to disarm us. I tried to tell you, look up the BBC, type in General Confesses the Truth. What are you training for? He said the invasion of America. They had an American town set up in the Straits of Formosa, and they were training to do gun confiscation back then, James. So Dianne Feinstein meeting with Trump saying they were going over the agenda for the whole year. What were they talking about? Gun confiscation. What do we got? Red flag gun confiscation. They've already killed an innocent man. Where was it? Michigan or Connecticut or somewhere. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. I gave you a lot to chew on. That's my rant for today, and I hope that this video goes viral or you get it out and you guys see.
All right.
Thank you, James McNeil.
Praise
That was a great call.
man.
You guys got it. That's the death to the New World Order. You have a great day. Keep up the good work.
All right.
Appreciate
Much
you
love,
guys.
James. Bye.
Thank you. It's a great call.
Wow. Okay. And it's not even letting me. I don't even think it's letting me in. Crazy. It's like stuck. Okay. It ended. Okay, James, I don't know what's happening with your audio, but something like I can hear cars and stuff. I don't know. I guess you're outside, but it keeps interfering with the audio. That was a great call. Thanks, James, for calling in. James Neal, if you could text me the same number that you called in, text me in 1997 what to search for as far as it being in the New York Times so that I can research that. Because I tried to just keep researching every time you would say something, and I'm holding the phone in one hand and trying to type with the other. So I'll put all the links in the description after this video is over so that you all can also research it as well. And wow, thanks for calling in, man. That was awesome. And if anybody else wants to call in, I think I'm going to do one more call and then we'll shut this off because I don't want it to be too long. I think we've already went over almost 2 hours. So James, you got anything you want to say on that last call there?
As far as what I'm looking for is obviously this is going to have to be a devastating something that's going to happen because you have people that are walking around clueless, oblivious, and it's going to have to affect them, and it's going to have to encapsulate everybody to where they don't have a choice to not look at what's going on. And so my question is if the dollar did go down, why would they need foreign troops? And why? First of all, I don't think America is ever going to call for foreign troops unless they do a nuke strike and then something to where they scare people and say, oh, if we don't cover our bases and we're going to have to bring in outside military assistance or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how foreign troops that would pass muster with any Americans,
Okay. So if anybody sees any UN troops, the UN actually has privilege to be here. A lot of people, and I have tried researching this. I know I've talked to you about this before, James, but back in the day, I found documents stating that the UN actually owns the United States, which is a corporation. The United Nations has, what's the word I need? They have
authority.
The United States. So if you see any UN troops or anything, it's not foreign troops. United Nations has power over the United States. So, I mean, it goes so deep. 1984 is a good one to read. George Orwell, like he was stating. This goes so deep and there's so much to research. If people are just now watching and waking up, start with 1984 and just keep going. The Clinton kill list that he was talking about. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all done some kind of video on that stuff. There's a reason that they are still here and others are not. Seth Rich. I mean, right before, during the DNC, he tried to expose a lot, and look what happened to him. You know, it was a botched robbery with nothing taken. Really? I mean, oh, goodness. Yeah, we're all on a list somewhere, you know, and that's why we're here. We're trying to speak out, and, you know, you've got this military that has taken an oath to protect and serve. And that one that called in on Marfugal TV talking about Operation Hot Musket, he's actually in jail right now. And he said he knew he was going to probably end up somewhere else, and he didn't care. He said that he signed an oath to the Constitution, or took an oath to the Constitution, to protect and serve the people. And that's exactly what he was doing. So he knew something was going to happen, and he didn't care. I think he only had 10 months left, which, I mean, you know.
Is that true? He only had 10 months left?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Crazy.
So if somebody wants to call in within the next couple minutes, if not, we'll go ahead and end this broadcast. If anybody's got some bombshell information. Other than that, it's been a great show. I think I've got the Text Now app working. Oh, there we go. Houston, Texas. Okay, if you want to go ahead and just mute your volume, and then you're live on with Kay and James.
Yeah, no problem.
You're on.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. Just to let everybody know, there's a gentleman that was on. He's not on YouTube, but he was on the Sears Tower in July the 4th, 1953, 1954, and God in heaven showed him an actual vision that became a prophecy. And God told him to look towards the east, towards the west, and towards the south. And every time he looked, he didn't see the land. All he saw was submarines coming up out of the water and firing nukes, missiles. You know, back then they didn't know what, you know, I mean, they knew what nukes were, being a missile. And they were landing them right into the United States. And so there's actually 2 read-along videos that you can see and read along on this prophecy that I'm talking about.
Okay,
and
what would I do? What would I search?
A.A. Allen's prophecy. And this all started in 2011, but then when Trump became the president, it's like God put the brakes on it. But then those planes landed in Venezuela, those Russian planes. I'm trying to find out more info on that as well. Just wanted to call in and let y'all know. Oh, and if anybody doesn't know this, only Christians will know this, but yeah, if you go read Daniel 7, 8, and 9, Daniel actually points this out. He said there'll be 3 kings killed, and after that, basically when you're reading Daniel 7, 8, and 9 in the Bible, then there'll be one person, there'll be this one person that sets up the coalition of the 10 kings on this earth, and as Daniel describes in the Bible, that person is the Antichrist. Mr. Obama set up the coalition of the 10 kings on this earth in between September the 5th and September the 10th, 2014. I've been walking with the Lord for 16 years, coming up on 17. May the 5th, 2016, I became a pastor, and I'm already on a blacklist on that, so I can't even get a pastoral job. But, most people don't know that Obama's the Antichrist, but there's actually, other than that scripture, there's a lot of other scriptures in the Bible which is really totally crazy. They all back up what Obama's doing, and just wanted to let y'all know.
All right, I appreciate it,
Thanks for letting me call in. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem, hon. Thanks. God bless.
Thank you.
God bless you too.
All right, bye-bye.
God bless you.
You too. Bye.
And I got to say, when Obama finally made it out of office, I was wondering, you know, oh, maybe he's not the Antichrist, but he seems to be lingering around, and he seems not to be going away. And gosh, I sure hope that something bad doesn't happen. I really do.
I know, right?
Because they don't have it locked in. Yeah, like James McNeil said, he said they're going to try. They're going to try to take over America. Now, if something was devastating to happen. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. They were taking people's guns away when two terrorists, or so-called terrorists, or whatever they want to call it, these people were on the loose, and then they went and they rounded up people's guns. I was thinking about that the other night. I was like, remember that in Boston?
Yeah.
The Sarnov brothers?
Uh-huh.
So you have terrorists on the loose, and then what do? They start taking guns away from the American people. Wouldn't you want guns in your house if terrorists are on the loose?
Right. I mean, they took away the guns during Hurricane Katrina. You know? Hold on just a second. Greencastle, Indiana, you're on the line.
Hey guys, I just wanted to let you guys know about a particular bill they have through. It's called Jake's Law.
Okay, hold on just 2 seconds, sweetheart. It's doing the audio thing again. Or do you have me on speakerphone or? Okay, can you try putting me on speakerphone and then it might be louder? Because
is that better?
Yes, it's better. Just talk a little bit louder.
Okay. Called Jake Blair's Law, HR 5717.
Okay.
It is a new law that they have passed where if you are on medications, they can legally confiscate your gun.
What type of medication?
Does not matter. If you're reading prescription bottles, it can say, use caution when operating a vehicle or machinery. So if you're suspected of being on a medication, which they all now say that, they have warrant to suspect something's wrong, and they can confiscate your gun. And I live in Indiana, which is a pretty good pro-gun state, but they put laws like this in and nobody talks about this. It's a pretty interesting law. It is HR 5717.
HR 5717. Okay. I can barely hear you, so I'm just going to type that in the chat. HR 5717.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still having trouble hearing you, so I'm just like typing it into the chat, and something's wrong with the audio now. So I don't know what's going on. Like, I can hear you. I can put you up to the microphone.
I very rarely get through to people because of certain people I shouldn't talk about and things and gag orders. So hopefully you get through on this.
Okay.
It's a pretty important piece.
Yeah.
But that's probably why my audio is horrible.
Well, I've heard of that too. You know, I've heard of, they were going to want to try to take guns away from anybody that's on disability, that's on any antidepressant as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
Or, like, I know Martha talked about, I know people that are cops that aren't going to take people's guns, but this is a U.S. law, and it does not specifically say antidepressants or psychiatric meds. You also have to think how many people are going to be on dementia medication or Alzheimer's medication. That is also part of it. It's not just going to be products. It's anything that's going to say may cause use caution when operating a vehicle or heavy machinery.
Uh-huh.
Because then they can say, well, I pulled you over because I have a reason to believe that you're on medications that could make you a danger to yourself, per se.
Right.
And then they have every legal right and reason to do what they want.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling, hon. And I think we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast after this call. So thank you.
Yeah, they're setting you up. They're setting you up. You know, you got doctors over prescribing everything.
Hold on. Okay, go. What'd you say, hon?
Just hopefully can get through and pass some of that information along.
Okay, I
so
appreciate
everybody
it.
can do their research on it, and it's a very interesting law.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
For sure. Thank you so much, and God bless, hon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, just really quick before she shuts it down, my girlfriend, she was not on Zoloft. It's the one that starts with a P, Prozac, and she went off of it, right? We got into a big fight because I was like, I was saying that her mood, the mood swings and everything that it was doing, and I was saying that it's affecting. And so she tried to go off of it, and man, I can't believe how bad the Prozac withdrawals and stuff were. She was really a mess, and she ended up going back into the doctor, and they were like, oh, well, you can't stop, basically. You can't stop. And if you want to, quit, which they don't recommend it, she's going to have to, and I was with her, and I was, it's one of these things where if you have a doctor telling you, oh, we don't think you should go off it and this and that or whatever. And I was trying to say, well, there's also some stuff that you might not be aware as far as, the mood swings and the crying and laughing and, this is weird thing. And it was the medication, and she goes, well, there are some, side effects you have to get used to and just And I was like, that's not normal.
No.
Having people laugh and cry and just being very messed up.
Yeah, here's the thing is I tried the same thing with my antidepressant. And, I have an actual disease that causes depression. So that's why I'm on an antidepressant. I actually tried to go off of it cold turkey. The doctor told me how to go off of it. He said, you need to wean yourself off of it. Like take, instead of taking a whole one every day, you start slowly, like take 3/4 of one for 7 days. And then I think he said 10 days. And then for another 10 days, slowly go off of it, like take half of one. And then do that for 10 to 20 days. And then, just slowly wean yourself off, and then take 1/4 and then 1/8, and then just slowly go off of it. And I think it takes like 6 months to fully go off of this stuff. You can't just go off of it cold turkey. So,
just think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't stop the medication, or otherwise it's going to do some sort of damage. Mm-hmm. That doesn't seem very healthy.
I know, right? I know.
That doesn't seem healthy.
The withdrawals are terrible. You get like these brain snaps. It's like in your ear, like boom, 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 boom. You totally feel so bad that you're like, well, I have to go back on it.
Hey, Bubba, stop that. Yeah, what they have done is they have gotten to the point where they know exactly, like they've engineered something that is like a heroin type of thing. But it's not even with heroin. It's all in the brain chemicals and everything. But literally, I saw this with my own eyes. Someone trying to get off Prozac, and we've heard Prozac. You've heard Prozac. I didn't know anything about Prozac. I just know not to take anything antidepressant or any of that stuff because it really
just said kratom is now illegal in Ohio.
Oh yeah, they don't like that stuff because that stuff will help you.
That'll help withdrawals.
That'll help with withdrawals and help you get away. They don't like anything that takes you away from their medication. Yes. And they have a very, very sinister plan with the medication. You're seeing it.
Oil and kratom will help get off any type of withdrawals. It'll actually keep you from getting sick. So, take CBD oil daily. Also,
that's the thing, Kay, is the sickness. People really don't understand. And like I said, I got addicted after I got shot. I was given Oxycontin, and remember, Oxycontin used to only be given for cancer, you're dying, type of stuff. And then what they did is they went into, the lobbyist or whatever, and they took that controlled substance of OxyContin and said, yeah, it's actually okay to give for like backaches and just like general pain. And basically you had all kinds of people everywhere, all walks of life, being addicted to OxyContin. Now they are hooked on heroin. For all intents and purposes, these people, even though they are being prescribed by a doctor and whatever, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Even molecularly, it's the same thing as heroin. And then the doctors were fine making money and prescribing left and right.
Oh yeah.
But when they started getting squeezed and their licenses started getting threatened, they said, oh, I can't prescribe this anymore to this person because of some sort of agency looking over my back. I might lose my license. And they just toss you, or they just say, I can't refill that prescription anymore. Now you're fully dependent on a drug, and your doctor now is not going to prescribe it. And for fear of what will happen now to him, because that's the thing that they felt. They didn't feel America being hooked on heroin from them, but they did feel the effects of, their license might be taken away. So now all of a sudden they just make that transition to heroin very, very cleanly, where these people never in a million years would have done heroin.
Right.
But you put that person in that situation and heroin will take away what they're feeling. And in case you've never done this, and I suggest everyone never even try it, but what will happen is basically hell on earth. And all you want is that pain to go away. And then all of a sudden you're in what I call a hemlock situation, because there's no way out. There's no way out. And people will just say, oh, why don't they just clean out? It's really, it's such a harder thing to put into words, but it's, and then you're screwed. And it really screws up people's lives. I mean, really messes with their families, really messes. And all I'm trying to say is those antidepressants, don't look at them like, oh, maybe, because they mess with your mind, the chemicals in your mind, the dopamine, the serotonin, everything. So all I wanted to say is just heads up on that. I didn't mean to go off into a whole thing.
Oh no, you're fine. You've actually experienced it. You've came and you've been clean for a few years now, and you're just 4 years, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the subcommittee on terrorism, part 1 through 5. Don't forget Army After Next, part 1. Appreciate it, James Neal.
That's the first time I've heard about Army After Next. I saw all kinds of stuff when you were researching there that I put down. So if you guys could jot down Army After Next.
Yeah, I'm going to put it all in the description, in the links.
Yeah, all right.
All the links, and put it all in the box so people can research it too. But James, if you want to stick with me just a couple seconds after I end the broadcast, did you want to give some people some shout outs? Yeah,
let me go to the chat box. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm all over the places.
I'm actually out of insulin on my pump. My pump's been going off for a few minutes now, so need to go put some insulin in my body before I kill over.
Amanda Mo, I love you, James Munder. Thank you, Amanda Mo. We have Ronald Medu or Mada. So like French, Madux. We have Elbrils, Laura Hall, Susan Ann. Shout out to everybody. The Nakias, Alan. All right. Let me scroll up here. James McNeil, thank you for that call. Susan Ann, Jason Kendrick, Iron 5. Shout out to everybody. Good morning. Thank you for being with us for the broadcast. I thought you knew. That's somebody that was with us. And a shout out to Ryan and NC. I remember him being there for the beginning of the broadcast. And Mike W. and everybody that I haven't mentioned. Love you guys.
All right. Much love you all. Thanks for stopping in and chatting with us. And I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. God bless.